Hey friends, it's Jem with ChappyPlans. Thanks for joining me for this Project Life video. If you'd like to see what I'm going to do, stick around. Hi everybody, thanks for joining me for this video. This is week 22 in my Project Life album, and I'm just showing you quickly the embellishments I'm going to use. I'm actually using most of April and May's Stories by the Month kit items as far as cards go. The die cuts and chipboard pieces are also from my Ali Edwards stash. I have some stickers and some puffy rainbows also from Ali Edwards. The labels are Studio Calico, and I'm so excited to get this party started. So I'm going to create this title card out of this 3x4 vellum piece that I had cut down. It was originally a 4x6 size, and I'm going to use it to create my title very simply using my newest stamp set, which is actually an older stamp set release from Ali Edwards and Laurel. It's from their Rad collection, and I'm going to use it to spell out week 22. I love that it has the numbers as well, and it's a really fun, funky font. And then I'm just going to keep it really simple and embellish it with the label for the dates and a couple of stickers. I should mention that the little tiny puffy hearts that I keep using are from the Jen Hadfield by American Crafts collection, and the colors just work perfect, so I picked those because I like to have at least 2 or 3 small embellishments that I can use throughout the 2 pages of my spread. I use a 9x12 album from scrapbook.com, and so are the pocket protectors or page inserts, whatever the heck you want to call them. I'm using my Stays On ink because that's what works on vellum, and it gives me a nice crisp impression, so I really enjoy using it. Plus it smells really good. My daughter walked in the craft room and she's like, why does it smell like cherries in here? And I'm like, that's the ink pad. And she like put her face up really close to it, and I was like, no, don't do that, because I don't know what chemicals are in it, you know. Anyhow, I'm referencing my Hobonichi cousin, which is my new full-on obsession that I use for daily journaling, and I'm going to keep referencing that throughout the journaling pieces of the week so that I can remember what the heck happened, even though it was just a few days ago. But I am feeling much, much better, almost completely normal, other than the fact that I just keep getting squishier because I can't exercise yet. I was told no, not till I see my doctor, which is not until June 12th, so I'm impatiently waiting for clearance to begin lifting again. Anywho, while I'm finishing up this card, I'll just mention this week was, you know, pretty dull at the beginning of the week. That's why there's a picture of a couple of the flowers that have been coming to life in our flower beds, and then really nothing happened until Thursday, at least photos wise. I do some journaling on the right side of the page after, but these photos are from the Little Mermaid Junior show that Nora's dance friends were all a part of. A lot of the friends that she goes to dance with go to this private school, and they were participating in the musicals. So it was really nice for her to be able to support them. That's her friend Abby, well, not friend, but like her friend's older sister. Her name is Abby, and she was obviously Ariel, and I just love this little picture. These new stamp phrases are from Everyday Explorers, and I am completely obsessed with them. I am kind of annoyed that I waited so long to purchase them, but they were part of a sale recently that I shared in a Flip Through Friday haul, so if you missed that, go check it out. And then there's this picture of Nora and some of her friends with another one of the girls from dance who was Flounder. Now you'll see that I just used the little blurry square to censor faces because I just don't know some of the kids' parents and not sure if they have my blessing or not, or if I have their blessing to share their faces. So anyhow, I covered them up with little smiley stickers from Studio Calico, and then I'm just going to label the front of this photo, and that's going to be it for the flip up on the top left. Then I'm going to move on and just really simply embellish the picture of the florals from my garden with a chipboard flower, which I think fits pretty well, and it was kind of my way of trying to bring in some orange. All I do on that card is literally stamp the date, and that's it. I don't think it really needs any journaling or anything like that. And you notice maybe that I did take my white Posca pen to write on the photo of all the girls with Flounder, London as Flounder, because that's her name, London. And then after I finish this little card, I'm going to move on to the vellum like paint swatch, this one right here. I'm not sure what you want to call that. But I'm taking all of the items out from the middle row so that I can work on those simultaneously. I'm going to cut a slit in the last pocket since I'm going to have a flip up on the back side of this page protector. And then I'm going to create just the flip up very easily by taping clear tape to both sides and then adhering a cardstock 3x4 card on the top. Then I guess I'm going to work on this picture. So I add the number 2 die cut. I wanted to use those up because the colors matched this spread. And then I pulled this chipboard tag out of my stash. I kept it really simple and put the sticker that says Reach for the Stars on there, which I thought was perfect because Nora is literally up on the very top pillar there at Urban Air. I'm going to stamp the date on that chipboard tag and leave it. I considered adding other things to it, but I think it's simple and I like the way that it looks. Then I wrote Urban Air on the photo to just keep it consistent, the fact that I used the Posca pen to write on a photo already. I took the sticker that said Flying, put that up next to Nora, and then a little puffy heart. I will go back and I do add the chipboard rainbow piece. In retrospect, I kind of wish I didn't because it looks like a lot happening on the left side of this spread, but it is what it is, and I'm not going to go back and take it off. I create the little tab there. Those tabs are also from Allie Edwards, and then I stamp the sentiment, Can You Believe It?, which actually is from a news prompt set, but I couldn't believe that she just like climbed all the way up there. It was her first time doing anything like it, and she loved it. And then on the underside of that flip up is a picture. It's actually 2 photos of my husband and Nora climbing up this rock wall that's clear so you can see the person on the other side. It's meant to be a race, but of course, you know, my husband didn't quite, he didn't give it his all, if you will. You know, he kind of let her get a head start. Wink, wink. You know, as good dads do. And then the card underneath it is Yep, a story from the Yes and No story kit. The colors worked well, and it worked well for telling 2 stories from this week. So I have the That's a Nope, No Way that I'm going to use on the right side, which I'll get to in a minute. For now, this one I'm just going to use my Zig Clean color dot marker to bullet journal about our day at Urban Air and how much climbing they did, and actually how my husband also got freakishly hurt, which is a story that just is laughable now, but kind of like what the heck in the moment. So while I'm completing the rest of these cards, I'll tell you, first he got really bruised because the way that they clipped the harness onto his carabiner at the front of his chest was in the perfect spot to land at his sternum when he jumped off one of their obstacles, and you grab onto this giant pillar, and it left quite the bruise. And then he also got a really big bruise on his bicep from slamming into the thing to grab onto it. And then he was jumping on one of these, like, it's like a room with only 2 extra springy trampolines and then a padded wall that you're supposed to like kind of be able to jump off the wall perpendicularly. There's no real good way to describe it unless you've ever been there. Anyway, he was trying to jump off the wall, which is made out of padded plastic and like a gymnasium mat, and somehow freakishly gashed his arm open. And I'm not talking like, oh, we need a Band-Aid. It was like, we need gauze and medical tape to get this thing to stop bleeding everywhere. And nobody at the place seemed to know anything about first aid. And in fact, the first attendant that we told about it was just kind of like stared at us like we had 10 heads and did nothing. So we decided on our way out to tell someone who looked like, and we assumed was the manager, who then like very haphazardly stumbled for the first aid kit and like kept thumbing through it and not knowing what to give us, and handed us 2 Band-Aids anyway. So, which I already had in my purse. So actually, like, I did a better job of applying first aid than this guy that worked there who you'd think should know about first aid. Anyway, I am still feeling some kind of way about it, and I actually regret buying memberships to this Urban Air because the first one we went to, if you've seen my project life from our spring break, was in Pittsburgh, which is where we went for my husband's work trip, and my daughter and I tagged along and did some fun things while we were there. And we had a much better experience there than we had at this Urban Air. Anyhow, I am showing you close-ups of the completed left side of the spread. As I was talking, you probably saw I just did a little bit of bullet journaling on the bottom left card about Friday and Nora's play date with her friend Natalie, who came over for the afternoon and then ended up staying until like 9 o'clock, which was kind of crazy. Nora had an emergency dental appointment that day that turned out to be nothing but a loose tooth. And I launched Patreon. So I journaled about all those things on that bottom left card. The vellum card on the bottom right is literally just a frame that I put a chipboard phrase in that just says, "Nothing in this world compares to the comfort and security of having someone just hold your hand," because I thought it was really cute next to the picture of Nora and her friend. Moving on to the right side, I'm going to embellish this vellum 4x6 card that I love so much. It just says, "Grateful for the small wins, big wins, and everything in between," using some of the stickers off of that My Story sticker pack that is very old and I got on sale from Allie Edwards. This photo I took of Nora and Natalie. Nora discovered her scooter for the first time this season, and this is probably the last year she's gonna get to use this one because that's as high as it goes, and she is so tall. But we took a walk around the neighborhood with the two of them since she ended up staying later than we anticipated, and I just stamped "thankful for this," wrote "first scooter walk with Natalie," and stamped the date on that picture. It's one of my favorite photos of Nora, actually. Saturday, we went to see Nora's best friend Abby's soccer game, and then we went to the Troy Asia Market, which was kind of the way of wrapping up the 518 Asian Alliance and API month festivities that happened throughout the month of May. So we went to support our local Asian restaurateurs and small businesses. It was crazy hot, and we actually ended up not staying because it was so hot and the food was, selling out. The lines were insane for the food that was selling out, so we ended up walking across the street to get tacos. So happy AAPI month. Let's have tacos. So that's why I chose this "That's a Nope, No Way" card, because it just talks about how hot and how busy and how insane it was, people to people, shoulder to shoulder in the heat. And how we did end up seeing lots of our friends, which was really cool. A lot of folks from my local Korean adoptee group were there, and how we ended up eating tacos and went home because after we ate, we wanted to get back because Abby was staying over at our house, which was an unexpected treat for her to have a sleepover / play date. But an even better treat was that Abby's two older siblings also came. And so it was Abby, Hannah, her older sister, who's I think 12, and then Grace, who is home from college for the summer. And so the four of them were insane and were doing karaoke and screaming to Taylor Swift and who knows what else, and jumping on the trampoline and running around my house, and it was just nuts. So you could see, I shared a lot of that in my stories over on Instagram. So if you're not following me there, you should, because I like to share the shenanigans that go on in my household over there. The Troy Asia flyer photo underneath it is just something I screenshot and wanted to include. And the picture of Nora with her little jarritos drink outside of La Capital Tacos, which actually is a business that was helped launched by the owner of the Korean restaurant who we were there to support. So we didn't feel like we were totally cheating on Troy Asia Market Day. And all I did was embellish this picture of Nora with the sticker that says "Life is meant for good friends and great adventures." The June monthly card to the right, I just underlined with my Posca the 1st and the 2nd, because this is the beginning of June and the end of May. And then the photo on the bottom right is a picture of the 3 kiddos in Nora's room. They were playing with makeup, and Grace was very, very kind and allowed Nora to do their eyeshadow. I did have the rainbow cardstock label on there, or die cut, but I took it off because I thought it was too much. And so I ended up putting "Life is meant for good friends and great adventures," and I like that much better. And then the big journaling card that says "What I love about right now," I kind of wrote over it with my Posca. I did write over it with my Posca this week, and then I outlined it with my Tombow Funosuke hard tip so that it stands out. And I took my clean colored up marker again and decided to go back into my Hobonichi Cousin to add some journaling bits about the week in a bullet list, which I love doing in these spreads because it is mostly photos and less about the journaling, about things that weren't necessarily included in the photos. So I will read those for you. They are all the playtime in my Hobonichi Cousin, productive EMDR session, which is my weekly therapy, 2 dentist appointments, one for me and one for Nora, Trump found guilty on all 34 counts in his trial. Abby's last soccer game, really hot sunny weather, playdates, Natalie and Abby, Natalie ×2, and Abby sleepover. Snowman ice cream late on Sunday night. So those are things I didn't necessarily have photos for. Okay, friends, so that's going to be it for this week. It was a very full, insanely busy weekend. Like, my goodness, when I was looking back at it, I'm like, holy moly. No wonder why I ended up taking a nap Sunday afternoon after church, because I was just totally wiped. But that's going to be it for me. Enjoy the close-ups in real time. Do me a favor and like this video if you did. Make sure you subscribe if you're not, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my content. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care of yourselves, friends, and remember that you are enough. Bye-bye.